There's been much talk during this election season, and understandably so, about the economy, unemployment, healthcare, energy, as well as the usual silly stuff like dogs riding on cars or being eaten. But very little has been said by any of the candidates about the core issue facing America right now. An issue that is, in effect, the sum total of all the other issues, the bottom line of Washington's spectacular dysfunction. Put simply, our national debt is a ticking time bomb. We owe more than $15 trillion, with trillions more to come for as far as the eye can see. And addressing this problem will take something that's in short supply in Washington right now: courage. For this is a matter not just of economics, but of morality. Is it moral to pass on such a debt to your children and grandchildren? Would you do that in your private life? But the political class continues to fiddle while Rome burns, feeding its endless appetite for spending other people's money, ours. Here's the single most significant number. The federal budget is twice the size it was 10 years ago. What could possibly justify that? We're now paying $4 billion a day, $4 billion a day just on our debt. And the biggest chunk of the federal budget, automatic entitlements, which account for well over half of federal spending and are certain to run massive deficits as baby boomers flood the markets in the years ahead, remain virtually untouched. Medicare alone has unfunded obligations going forward of $70 trillion. $70 trillion! The cascading effects of all this amount to the most predictable crisis of our times. Facts are stubborn things. And if we keep spending at our current rate, we will, within 10 to 15 years, have only enough to pay our debt, entitlements, and military obligations. And then only enough for debt and entitlements, nothing else. Something's got to give. It is time, beyond time, to place permanent statutory or constitutional limits on the size of the federal budget. If we don't do so, if we fail to attack the problem now, we will be left with only two options: massive tax increases, which will cripple the economy, and forced austerity measures that could well lead to blood in the streets. And without the political will to do one or both, we will print a lot more money, which will significantly devalue the dollar and lead to inflation or even hyperinflation, which will devastate each and every American. And we don't have to engage in idle speculation. We're witnessing what will happen to us right before our eyes in Europe, where one economy after another is crumbling under the weight of decades of the unrestrained welfare state. There is still time, but there is no time to lose. We could do nothing more important than demanding that all candidates for federal office address this issue head-on and offer specific proposals for how to defuse this ticking time bomb.